Hello and welcome back to Sunless Sea. So we're continuing to head south because we're after some coffee beans to all intents and purposes. And we've leveled up, good. Which means we probably need to pull into Quaker's Heaven, I would have thought, because I know it's somewhere south of London. So yeah, it's probably a decent place to pull in, particularly as our fuel situation's not fantastic. So if we could find somewhere to buy some more, that would be handy. So let's go to the shops. Okay, at the very least we can buy some fuel, which is hideously expensive. $20 for some fuel? And you only get 1 point of it as well. So let's go to here. So drinks, explore the shore, pick up a wretched mog. Meow, meow. A yellow-eyed and mangy piebald thing winds around your ankles like a manacle chain. You've never seen a cat's mouth open that wide. Presumably it's hungry. So it's a mascot. Unlocked with ×3 supplies. Yeah, I'm not spending that many supplies, given that I've already got a mascot. Chat to the fishermen. Coin to open their mouths. One quid's not bad. Very modest challenge. Yeah, let's do that. Toasting the wind. You stand on a cliff top, looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards, and as you watch, the smoke tilts, and the sudden wind thins to a pencil smudge, and then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly, like a god cut in half. What a noise. Must be the caves around the island channeling the air. But at least that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from a shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. And the wind is southerly. So again, 39 fragments, which basically is XP. So for now, you succeeded in the challenge and you've gained a couple of points in terror. Okay. I think we can afford to spend one to talk to some sailors, or some fishermen. So I've now got a port, okay. Now, where should we head next, do we think? I'm tempted to keep heading south over in this direction. Because I'm going after that... Is it coffee, or is it's something along those lines that I'm looking for. Yeah, bring 2 sacks of dark drop coffee. Which you know in my luck will cost about 50 quid a pop. God, the fuel situation's bad. Supply situation's pretty decent, mind. Okay, we've got another one of those crab things. Let's move in on it. Okay, made a weapons range. Slow. Engagement. Speed. Fire. Here it comes. Brace. We only took about 1 point of damage there. Sound the all clear. Okay, let's try to dissect it from some knowledge. You set to work with your knives and acids, and this is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops of one of the deep sea crab species. But its eyes are normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, and are large and rather beautiful. Golden glow is almost gone now, and all those sparks leak now and then from your knife. You've gained a fragment. What I want to know is it possible to get any fuel, anywhere, that isn't painfully expensive? Aha, another city. Assuming it's another city anyway. And if you run out of fuel, is it possible to survive, I wonder? Okay, give me a place where I can dock. Yeah, there it is. There's the dock. Okay. Travel to the surface. The sun is dangerous to Neath dwellers like your crew, but the surface has its temptations. Unlocked with 22 fuel. Jesus Christ. Listen for surface gossip. Gather information for a port report. Okay, let's do that. So now have a port report. Good. The ships of the surface linger here. And we now have a vision of the surface. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostelries in the long-moored ships, and here you trade stories with the sun and surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia, and the lost fires in the final isles. What they got in the shops? We're going to have to spend most of our cash to buy some bloody fuel, aren't we? In Venderbright, they're always eager for news of the surface. Okay, I probably ought to head back to London, turn in these couple of port reports, and hopefully that'll get me enough to buy a little bit of fuel. As it stands, I'm still going to have to buy some here. I can only afford to buy 2 points of fuel. Marvellous. Okay, let's head home to London, guys. I hate to think how south I'm going to have to travel if I want to. Okay, so the world is reasonably large. Yes, I hate to think how far south I'm going to have to travel to actually get that coffee that the guy wants. Still, as long as I can turn in those port reports for at least a bit of money. And then if I head north to Venderbright to trade that story of the surface world. It is Venderbright, isn't it? Something along those lines. Incidentally, is my voice a bit croaky this morning? I can't tell. Feels like it might be. Ugh, beg pardon. And we're in the home waters, good. Oh, we have a armoured crab. I feel like I should probably kill it. Particularly given that it's attacking me. How did you miss at point-blank range, you useless people, you? Get us on its flank. Oh, agile little git. Okay, keep turning, keep turning. Follow it. It's thoroughly on our flank now. Okay. Target and fire. Nicely done. Okay, let's butcher it for supplies. And let's turn her around and head back to port. Says if I hadn't bought that extra fuel, we'd be adrift right now. And the hull's down to 59 out of 75. At least the supply situation isn't too bad. It's one advantage of running into those crabs every so often. Still, either way, let's pull in to London. Maybe I'll head down there next time. Actually, no, I wanted to head north to Venderbright, didn't I? So I'll do that, and then maybe I'll head down there. And All us into port, please. Collect messages from the harbour master. Yep, let's do that. Let's see. One of this, another day, a free evening. Good. Something has changed underneath. Someone wants to sign on. Okay. I don't have what the contact wants. Okay, I'm going to have to accept the gift, I think, because I turned him down the first time, and then I ran out of stuff, so... We now have times 1 menaces suspicion, but I've gained 10 fuel and 5 supplies. Good. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's Head. Should that day come, he will make you very welcome, and give you any safe conduct which you might require. Good evening to you. Okay, that's pretty good. The Labyrinth of Tigers is open under the patronage of the London Zoological Society to cautious visitors for educational purposes. Here you may see the devil apes of Far Manly, the Thing in the Mirror, the Kenstigator's children, the gargantuan cave snake, or the inhabitor of wolves, the hybrid fiend NB, or the management recommends that you arrange your exit well before closing time. So if I had a harlot fry, I could sell them a thing. Or if I had a bucket load of cash, I could buy a live specimen. Okay, let's head to London. Let's head to the Admiralty, because they like stuff. They'll pay for information from captains. So, been to Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original ruby lumps, have we? So I've gained a fuel, and I've gained an Admiralty favour, and I've gained $5, which is good. I've been to the Cumin Canal, and I've gained 5 echo for it. That's okay. And let's see if there's anything in particular the Admiralty needs. This port. Speak to our agent there and return, and we'll see that you're rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. Gators mourn in the Corsair's forest, somewhere not far from home waters. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I have an Admiralty favour, so let's speak to a higher authority. Survey 3 ports to return to win the Admiralty's approval. Okay, fair enough. Nothing else there. Potentially hire more crew. So who potentially needs recruiting? Okay, I don't have enough to hire a doctor. A haunted doctor, increase hearts and pages, could be useful. Genial magician, again, I don't have enough. And that would increase veils and mirrors. And a standard sailor. I've got 8 out of the potential 10, so I think I'm okay on that front. So perhaps not. Is there anything I can sell out of curiosity? Torpedo components, what do they do? Ammunition for torpedo salvos. I don't have any torpedoes. Yes, players may be able to use your enemies, increasing the speed of your firing solution. Potentially useful. In smaller quantities, delightful and refreshing. In large quantities, one of the nicest ways to die. Fair enough. I could sell my copy of The Advice for Captains. That would be a decent way to get some cash. But do I need it? I don't think so. I think I've started to get a handle on things. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to sell the book. I'll probably end up regretting that in the future, but I need the cash right now. And a Misery Company, which should allow me to get better engines. So why is that completely free to buy, I wonder? Seriously, why is that free to buy? That seems odd to me. Or is it he'll buy it for $500, but he can't sell you one? Okay, that makes sense. Now they wanted some casks of mushroom wine up in Hoosmajigger, didn't they? Memoirs, menaces. No, these guys wanted a monstrous eel. It was the previous lot who wanted the mushroom wine, wasn't it? Alright. Okay. I'm tempted to actually get... I mean, I've got the money now to afford an extra crew member, or an extra officer rather, and they could be lucky. They could be very useful. So potentially a new recruit. So, Haunted Doctor increases hearts and pages, which could be useful. And Magician increases veils and mirrors. Speed, stealth, and deception. Increase the range at which your enemies will spot you. That's quite useful. Mirrors. Detection and perception. The higher your mirrors, the quicker you can find a firing solution in combat. That's potentially very useful. So I think I am going to hire on the Genial Magician. Welcome aboard. I'll get to work below. Perhaps I could change out of this jacket first. Point your new officer from dragging him from the officers tab to his slot at the top of the screen. Do this in port, not at sea, or you may unsettle your crew. Excellent. Okay, so veils +6, mirrors +3, hearts -1, but that's okay, we've got plenty of hearts. Ah, but he's a chief engineer, is he? Interesting, didn't realise that. But he is definitely better than she is because she's fairly generic. Does that mean I can sell her, I wonder? Because that'd be useful, you know, just getting rid of officers I don't need. There's very little point having one who isn't equipped. Still, we've got a bit of fuel now. I've still got some time to spend in the evening, so... Carouse the docks, maybe? That'll cost some money, which I don't really have. Let's go to the university. Twist in the tail, you now favours antiquarian. Okay. They don't have much there. So let's just leave the university for now. Okay then. So, what are our objectives? Find the father's bones, so we need to go south and get some coffee. Retrieve strategic information from Gator's Morn in the Corsair's Forest, somewhere not far from home waters. And open a monstrous eel. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so let's try and find Gator's Morn in the Corsair's Forest. Which we have no idea where it is. But it's supposedly not far from home waters, which would logically mean it's somewhere in this area. So I am actually going to head down this way. You are now well provisioned to try travelling further from London. Risks are more severe, but so are the rewards. Well, that makes a certain kind of sense. There's not going to be anything down here, is there? No. Still, at least this ship can turn on a dime. That's useful. Okay, so... Why is my memory so terrible for remembering where the hell I'm meant to be going? Gator's Morn in the Corsair's Forest. Okay, no, wrong thing. So So let's head vaguely eastward for a little while in the direction of Hunter's Keep. Because at the very least we can dock there and get a port report. The complete lack of music is creepy, but it works. Probably because it is quite creepy, which is deliberately the tone that it's going for. So the crew got fed, good for them. And let's... Okay. Spy on the house, which is a straightforward challenge, and we have a 92% chance to succeed. Piano music drifts across the terrace, and you peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlour. Grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect, and a dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book, and a third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. "Soon," she says, and the piano music falters and stops. "We'll go hungry, and the end will come. For me, not for you." The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. "Hush! If we don't speak of it," she frowns. "Has she seen you at the window?" You withdraw. We now know something of Hunter's Keep, and we've succeeded in Veils, and we gain 40 fragments. They will have heard your ship. Why hide? Yep. Well, let's raconteur the island. And we now have a port report. Good. And let's actually go visit the sisters, which we have done before. So we know exactly what happens there. So let's lunch with the middle sister. Sunny, restless, prone to giggles. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidently. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes empty and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. And by the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. So we now have the attention of the gods of Z Stone, and I've lost my terror. But we've gained the supplies, which is useful. Okay, so they're not here. Don't have any recent news we can trade with them, so let's move on. I wonder what's there. So it's marked as a mooring point, but there's nothing labelling it. What's nearby then? Salt Lions is a long way to the northeast. Yep, definitely a bit creepy. Cook, gunnery officer, surgeon, first officer. Ah! Okay, so that's some sort of trading ship. That makes sense to dock and have a conversation with them. Light ship. Its clear, bright beam warns the way. Don't have any recent news. They have a little to spare, but it's twice the usual price. Bloody hell. Okay then, let's just move on. Now what's that line, I wonder? world is webbed with invisible lines. You crossed one. Tighten them and it would split like fruit. Okay. Let me guess, this is what qualifies as close and far away. So yeah, if we hadn't accepted that guy's patronage, I think we'd have just run out of fuel. Which means it's not really much of a choice, is it? You kind of have to do it. So I've docked at Mutton Island previously, haven't I? Yes, I have. Yep, got another one of these things. Takes it nice and slow. Don't have a clear shot at it. Fire. Target. Fire. Sound the all clear. Let's get over there and let's try and take this one apart for scientific knowledge. You said to work with your knives and acid, and it is an undistinguished adolescent specimen. Okay, so we've gained a fragment. Slow down. Damn it. Fired too early. Annoying little gits. And of course there are two of them. Okay, good. It's taken... Wow, there's a lot of them. Pity we don't get more loot than just... Oh god damn it. Supplies and a very tiny, and potentially a very tiny amount of experience. And we're in a fog bank, so we can't see worth a damn. Which means we're currently getting our ass kicked. Butcher for supplies. Okay, we can't target it through this fog, so we're getting the hell out of here. Increase speed. Run like hell. Yeah, they can't catch me if I deliberately run like this. Because one-on-one I can take him, any more than that it becomes problematic. Well, we've got the supplies to... We've potentially got the supplies to stop for a while and repair the hull. Because the hull's not completely buggered yet, it's just pretty close to it. Okay, sound the all clear. Get repairing the hull. 2 days worth of repairs. God, are they still on my bloody tail? Stop repairing. Run like hell. Need a rear-mounted weapon. So yeah, let's keep going south. Let us see what we can find. Oh, come on, seriously? These crabs are just hideously annoying. Okay, that's it. I'm turning to engage because this thing is pissing me off. Get me a weapons lock. What? What? Where the hell did it even go? Ugh. Okay, sound the all clear. Continue to head south. Does the Z-Bat see anything? And Republic is a long way to the south, okay. sighted close-ish to the shore. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment and then fades. Right, that to me seems like a pretty reasonable point to end this part. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.